Today we are going to talk about NaNoWriMo.
I want to be a writer because I like to write. I like to tell stories.
Very, very sophisticated hats. Not really.
It's all about creative writing.
This was more my cup of tea. A little bit of a tight one though. Still, when you get writing, you just gotta do what you can. Thank you for joining me on my creative writing journey.
My name is James Seviour.
Hello and welcome back. Now, 2 weeks ago I mentioned about preparing for NaNoWriMo. That is the National Novel Writers Month, which is held online every November at www.nanowrimo.org. Anyone can sign up and you have to write an average or around 1,667 words per day in order to reach a goal of 50,000, which constitutes a 200-page manuscript, more or less. So what is it? Now, I strongly believe that everyone has a story to tell. There are no two people the same, and this event aims to get people to start writing. The website is great with a daily graph system you can use to monitor your progress and see if you're falling behind. The final deadline is the incentive to get the story going, regardless of that inner critic. I took part in this competition last year for the first time. It was strange because most of the year I couldn't really get any writing done. I had a lot going on, and November was the peak of my year's problems, to be honest. Last year's NaNoWriMo, I had an idea for a story of a guy named Alistair with the ability to steal the human aura and aura of living things. Yeah, he had a friend and they worked together as contract aura absorbers. Now, that idea kind of grew with the addition of a female character named Perla. And then you had other characters I included too. There was the villain called Leah, and over time, the story itself developed more with the characters. And it's all thanks to Natalie Lee's Preptober guide, which I vaguely put down some details about the characters. But with the story in mind, I kind of put the characters into this world where they could roam free. I had a scene here, an awesome finale where the world was in jeopardy. But the key was the characters. I mean, I had already developed the beginning in my head of the story, and again, the characters themselves became their own. In the beginning, I dedicated every morning to writing 2,000 words a day. I mean, it's the same as 1,667, and it meant that should I miss a day here or a day there, then I have a little leeway. In my excitement, the characters came to life. All of a sudden, all my characters' traits and history made them real. They all had a personality, a past, a present, and a future, because they had a goal. Now, the character Alistair, who was the original protagonist by the way, became the least developed, and Perla really came into her own, becoming the main character as she was discovering her abilities along with the reader. It was a great first 10 days, but as I hadn't done this before, I very quickly got burnt out to get a little done here and there, but nothing like the initial start. So, as they say, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Your brain is like a muscle, it can get burnt out. I actually gave up after missing too many days. I couldn't remember the story well. That's the problem when you stop. You forget where you are, or the characters take you on a whole different side quest which had nothing to do with the original text. I had this huge twist come out of nowhere, and even I didn't see it coming. I didn't know how to integrate the story, but when I did, wow, the story came out pretty awesome. That obstacle jammed me, but when I got over it, or at least merged it with the story, then I got excited again. It's bad really, as I really had to start the story again in the middle. Kind of changed gear. The original idea remained, but the story expanded into something greater. Now, I love being creative, so it is possible. It's not easy, but it's possible. Sure, the ending was rushed and I skipped some scenes regarding how certain characters got to certain places, but the skeleton was there. Now, what followed was what I was dreading the most. The editing of what I thought I had to arrange large chunks, when in the end, I added more scenes. Perhaps too many, as I tried to add too much backstory for all the characters which I had developed over this time period. Those are flashbacks were required. I've only learned recently that you shouldn't have to use flashbacks unless they're absolutely necessary. They take the reader out of the story. I fleshed out a few scenes and cleaned up a few weasel words. I followed all the other tips and tricks to clear up the text, so it flowed better and it became a story of 82,000 words in the end. Yeah, editing was difficult. In the end, I had it proofread by Megan at Starsky Reviews. She's a beta reader, which I'll leave her link below. She gave me some tips and continued to edit, but I really want to submit it into this Kindle Scout website. And with enough interest from readers, it could have gotten published. The Aura Scoundrel, which I named it in the end, may not have got enough support other than my friends in Chile, which thank you all. I love you guys, but I still consider it a worthy completed first novel. I have two other semi-finished novels, The Code of Existence and The Last Human. Now I will probably have to go back and rewrite them, as my writing has improved since then, but last year's NaNoWriMo got my first novel complete, so yeah. That's what the organisers of the contest and the website wanted. They wanted to show that you can write a novel. It is possible. Like running a marathon or climbing a mountain, anything with dedication and perseverance is possible. This year I decided to prepare a novel called The Endless Horizon, and whilst preparing I've changed so many details that although the idea remains, the characters once again are going to take me for a ride, and I'm excited. Writing for me is like reading. I don't know what's going to happen, I don't know what are the depths of my psyche, and what's going to happen despite having an ending in mind. For all those taking part this year, I wish you good luck. I know it's going to be difficult, but just think, if you stick to it, you may surprise yourself with a story worth sharing. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to follow my creative writing channel. I put the link to Starsky Reviews below if anyone would like a beta reader. I thought she was great. Now, get writing everyone, and see you next week.